Hello, my friends, and welcome to the realm of wonder and discovery this week here in GSC 120, or Concepts in Environmental Science. Today, we are going to embark on a journey through the scientific method, a conceptual framework of how science is generally completed in an analytical perspective, where we're going to illuminate curiosity and perseverance in relation to the phenomena, a naturally occurring event that happens all around us, second by second, day by day, and so forth, and allow scientists to be able to better understand what is going on in the environment. Now, there's several steps within the scientific method, and the scientific method I'd like for you to be aware of is just a fluid framework of how we view the world. And generally, it starts with the very first step, and that's the observation of the phenomena. We look at the world and use our senses and make sense that there is something occurring in the environment that we want to learn more about and wonder what impacts are actually occurring. What's the cause and effect relationship? And every observation sparks a question. It ignites the flame of curiosity for scientists. Then we move into what we would consider step two in the scientific method, asking a question. Because this is the power of scientific inquiry. We see something, the phenomena occurring, then we ask ourselves, what happens? And scientists ask questions that lead to deeper understanding. Each question gets us a step closer for unraveling the mysteries, especially here in environmental science, where the environment is constantly changing all around us. Then in step three, we craft what they call a hypothesis or an educated guess. This is where our imagination takes flight as we try to explain the unexplainable. Scientists propose hypotheses to imagine answers for our questions. How can we take something that is very hard to study and question it to make sure that it's truthful and that that phenomena is truly occurring? Then we can also build that upon that question by describing ways we can test it in step four, the experimental phase. This is where we do hands-on exploration in this class. Most of the data in this course is collected for you. You'll also have to collect some yourself to be able to determine what is going on in the experiment. And scientists, we design experiments using variables. Every experiment is just a step forward. It's all about confirming or denying if that phenomena is truly existing, and how does your study relate to the broader aspects of what has already been done by other scientists. And this can also open new doors for discovery because the data that you collect and experience in relation to the phenomena may actually be scientifically new and novel. And then in step five, we're going to take the data collected by the experiment and then analyze it, pick it apart, detail by detail, and delve into it and uncover those patterns that are going to be novel and build connections. Each insight brings us closer and closer to understanding the wonders of that phenomena. And then we can collude it in step six and communicate it because this is the essential thrill of discovery. And in order to enjoy that thrill, let's share it with others. Use the data that you collect, the observations that you make, and the results of your experiment as a vehicle for scientific communication, which will grow the scientific literacy and awareness found in our region. Remember, environmental science is a really new science, and that all of the material that we study, we can share with others, and then become teachers ourselves as we grow this region as environmental scientists. Every conclusion is a spark, and it also ignites new ideas. You run through your experiment, you make your observations, and complete your scientific study. But then, once completed, new questions arise. And that is the greatest part of scientific inquiry. So that's really what we're going to be working on this week is we will be conducting a investigation as part of growing your scientific awareness and literacy throughout the rest of the course, but we're only going to focus on small parts of the scientific method throughout this class in different ways, in different environmental science contexts. But I think this week we'll start it off by focusing more on not just the process, but even the application of evidence. This right here is a phenomena that environmental scientists commonly study. And this phenomena is that of a wildfire brewing in Yellowstone, Wyoming during the hot, dry summer season of 2009. As part of our material this week, we are going to study wildfires as a way to communicate parts of the scientific method, especially with a focus on collecting and communicating evidence. As part of the scientific method, we need to be able to also ask questions to formulate a testable question based upon the observations made. And these focus on factors and variables that can, say, contribute to the spread of wildfires, such as environmental impacts that occur before, during, and after the phenomena occurs. We can then test the question or the hypothesis by conducting experiments and studies and looking at data through field studies, data collection, and conduct simulations. Similar data collected from the nearby Sierra Nevada range and used as a proxy as wildfires are also common suggests that high temperatures, low humidity, and high winds were a contributing factor. We can then conclude and draw conclusions based upon the analysis of data and determine whether the hypothesis was supported or refuted, and then built upon using the connection of the high temperatures and low humidity and wind speed, and along with dry vegetation, which can all be linked to human impacts. A great way to communicate changes in our environment. And then we can also allow for new questions to arise, such as how feedback loops occur, such as the deer walking through the charred remains of the forest and the flowers growing out of the ashes, and the new arrivals of hummingbirds feeding on those plants. I think that's a great way to put this week's lesson into perspective, is that we are going to take a look at wildfires and then collect observational-based evidence and communicate it. Our goal is to communicate environmental science phenomena.